Good evening, Toastmasters. You are all so lucky to be at this club officer training session because we have a wonderful treat for you. I know our trainers are dynamic. However, we have leveled up this season with a special guest speaker. Our speaker today is a passionate leader, storyteller, and longtime Toastmaster who believes leadership begins the moment you choose to stand up even when no one else does. She currently serves as an international director for Region 6, which District 83 is a part of. She is a past region advisor and has spent more than 18 years helping members grow in their confidence, their voice, and courage to lead. Outside of these titles, she is known for her heart forward leadership, creative energy, which she will demonstrate tonight, I guarantee you, and her ability to turn everyday moments, even a childhood game of Farmer in the Dell, into powerful lessons about resilience, connection, and service. Presenting The Cheese Stands Alone, Lessons in Leadership, please help me welcome distinguished Toastmaster Jenilee Taylor.
Thank you so much, District 83. Good evening. Now, before we talk about growth or membership or distinguished anything, I want to take you back to my elementary school gym floor. You remember it, okay? Rubber tennis shoes squeaking, floor wax shining, and maybe a faint whiff of cafeteria pizza drifting from the hallway. This is where I'm going to age myself. We were playing Farmer in the Dell. Please tell me at least someone else in this room remembers the game. If not, here's how it works. Everyone stands in a big circle holding hands, singing. And the farmer picks the wife picks the child picks the dog picks the cat, and finally, after everyone has been picked, there's the cheese. The cheese is the last one left. They go in the middle of the circle while everyone sings, "The cheese stands alone, the cheese stands alone, hi-ho the dairy-o, the cheese stands alone." For the record, nobody wants to be the cheese. Somebody yelled, "Pick her!" And suddenly I was in the middle of the circle. Everyone else is still holding hands, still smiling, while I stood there as they sang, "Hi-ho the dairy-o, the cheese stands alone." I laughed because that's what you do when you're 7 and trying not to cry. But inside, it didn't feel like a childhood game. It felt like I was being punched in the stomach. If you are not chosen, you don't belong. I didn't know it then, but that moment was leadership training. Because sometimes being a leader feels exactly like being the cheese. Now, fast forward to Toastmasters. You join thinking you're going to learn to speak, and then suddenly you're a club officer. You hold a meeting where only 3 people show up. You plan an area contest and no one else volunteers to help you. You send emails that nobody reads, create spreadsheets that nobody opens, organize trainings, and wonder if anyone actually notices that you're there. Any of this sound familiar? We stand in the middle of the circle while everyone else holds on around the outside, hoping somebody will step up. And yet, even in that space, especially in that space, we grow. But what does standing alone really mean? It is easy to feel left out when it feels like you are the only one doing work. What if standing alone doesn't mean you're forgotten? What if it means you've been trusted to hold the space until others are ready to step into it? From that middle of the circle, you see differently. You notice who's discouraged, who has potential, who just needs a little bit of a nudge. That, my friends, is perspective. It's the ability to see the entire circle. That's what makes you a leader. Okay, so you see the whole circle. When you're in the center, you see everything. The energy of the club, the members who need encouragement, the ones quietly leading, the ones ready to grow. Great, Jenilee, perfect. I get to see everything. But how do I apply this? Start every meeting with observation. Before you speak, scan the room. Who looks discouraged? Who looks disengaged? Who looks eager? Take note. And with that, keep a leadership notebook. Write down names of members who might need encouragement. Follow up with them personally. Who looks engaged? Tap them on the shoulder. Let them know what you see in them. When I go to networking events or conferences and we exchange business cards, I don't just take the card. I write little notes about what I recognize in people, what we chatted about. So when I follow up, I can make our contact, our connection personal. It's not just another email connecting or touching base. Finally, ask better questions. Don't just say, who wants to volunteer? Who wants to sign up for a role at the next meeting? Doesn't matter how much enthusiasm you put behind that question. Instead, ask, what role would help you grow? What role would help you meet your goal? Observation is a superpower. When you're not distracted by being in with the group, you can pay attention to what matters. The people. That awareness helps you guide others with empathy instead of ego. Now, leadership happens quietly. Everyone sees the contest, the conference, the shiny trophies, they hear the applause. But most leadership in Toastmasters happens long before any of those moments. It's the quiet work. The emails. Lots and lots of emails. The planning calls that end at midnight. The moments that you have to rewrite an agenda because somebody dropped out at the last minute. It's practicing a speech after the kids are asleep. It's choosing patience when someone complains. It's showing up to a meeting that starts 10 minutes late when half of the chairs are empty and still giving your best. But what does that look like in application? Block some leadership time on your calendar. Treat it like a meeting with yourself. this really allowed me time to grow in who I am as a leader. What did I expect out of myself in leadership? What did it look like in action? Create templates for repetitive tasks, agendas, reminder emails, contest checklists. It saves you time and it reduces stress. And it helps to eliminate errors as well. And celebrate small wins privately. Write down what you accomplished each week, even each day. I have a calendar that allows me to write down highs and lows of each day. It doesn't matter if anyone else notices, because no one else has to applaud for that work. But it's that work that builds leaders. It's not where you're hidden, it's where you're built. So if right now you are sitting there and you are in a season where you feel unseen, remember, that is not a failure. That is leadership in its purest form, quiet and powerful. These moments matter because they shape who you are and how others will grow because of it. Leadership is a choice. I know this is going to shock most of you, but leadership in Toastmasters doesn't come with a paycheck. Some of you may be waiting for it. It's not coming. It is built on service, humility, and a lot of courage. It's standing up to speak when the room is silent. It's saying, I'll help, when nobody else raises a hand. It's mentoring a member who wants to quit. It's calling someone to say, you did a great job, even when you are exhausted yourself. You can do this by saying yes to one thing each month, a role, a project, a mentoring opportunity. Doesn't matter how big or small you think it is. Commit to saying yes to just one thing each month, even if that one thing terrifies you. Practice micro leadership. Send one encouraging message each week to someone new. And lead without a title. If you see a gap, fill it. If you see a need, meet it. You don't need a title or a badge to lead. You already lead every time you show up for someone else. You lead when you inspire, not instruct. You lead when you turn your lessons into somebody else's lifeline. Think about the times in Toastmasters when you felt like the cheese. Standing in the middle, doing work you thought no one else seemed to notice. Now think about who you became because of those moments. More confident, more compassionate, more capable. That's because those moments weren't setbacks. They were shaping you. Every unnoticed effort was building resilience. Every quiet act of service was sharpening your vision. Every time you stood alone, you were becoming the kind of leader others could trust. So the next time you find yourself in that space, remember, you're not just filling a gap. You are defining what leadership looks like. And one day someone will step into that circle because you stood there first. Now, I have seen it again and again. A club president who stays after the meeting to clean up alone. Or a division director who drives 2 hours to support a contest because nobody else could. A district leader who hears criticism but keeps serving anyway. Those moments don't make you less of a leader. They prove you are one. I'm going to say that again because I think a lot of us need to hear that, including myself. Those moments do not make you less of a leader. They prove you are one. Leadership is not about being chosen. It is about choosing to keep showing up. And leadership feels lonely sometimes. You wonder if anybody sees the effort, the late nights, the reminders, the planning. Those moments aren't wasted. When you stop asking, why isn't anyone helping? And instead start asking, what am I learning while I'm here? Everything changes. Frustration becomes clarity. You stop chasing applause and start noticing progress, yours and theirs. Because in Toastmasters, our impact is not measured in titles. It's measured in people. So back to that gym floor, the circle, the song, the 7-year-old in the middle. But this time she stands tall. Not because the song changed, but because her understanding did. Standing alone does not mean you were left out. It means you were strong enough to stand before others were ready. And that is the essence of Toastmasters leadership. We stand first so others can find their footing. So to every one of you here who has ever stayed late, filled roles, or held meetings together with sheer determination, you are not the cheese that stands alone. You are the leader who steps forward when the circle needs you the most. And when you do, you make space for others to step in. You turn a circle into a community. You turn hesitation into courage. The next time you feel like the cheese, remember this. You're not standing alone. You're standing first. And because you stand, others will follow. Thank you, District 83.